name is Connie Waddell, and I'm with Elite Auctions and Fundraising Services. We're going to be presenting a video today on virtual fundraising, but before we get started, I do want to apologize if there's any breakup in our audio feed. We've been having difficulty with Zoom, perhaps they're overloaded, but do forgive us if there's any break or fading in and out of our audio. You know, since the beginning of the year, Elite Auctions and Fundraising Services has participated in numerous virtual fundraising events. And because of those experiences and all that we have learned, we have determined that there are several key elements to a successful virtual event. In this particular video, we will cover one of those elements. And in fact, what we know is the most crucial element in raising the most money possible. That is the fund-a-need. Joining me today is Mike Grigg, our auctioneer and fundraising consultant. Mike not only has many years of experience in hosting a fund-a-need, but has attended several training seminars that are specific to how to facilitate the fund-a-need in order to raise the most money possible. We call it turning 10 minutes into a gold mine. So welcome, Mike. And I'm going to ask you to define a fund-a-need and why it is such a critical element in virtual fundraising.
All right, thank you for that introduction, Connie. And welcome everybody who's watching. The fund-a-need is the single most important part of your event, especially when conducting a virtual fundraiser. A fund-a-need is approximately 10 to 15 minutes long and allows your supporters to give donations at specific amounts to benefit a need or needs that your organization might have. For example, if you're raising funds for a school and your 5th grade class needs Chromebooks for each student, this would be a perfect item to raise funds for during your paddle raiser. We generally recommend about 6 levels of giving, starting high and working low. The levels are determined based on what you feel your guests will start at the high level. So if you predetermine that your top level is $5,000, then your levels could start at $5,000, then go to $2,500, $1,000, $500, $250, and end at $100. This is more for like your live in-person fundraising format. We like to say that the fund-a-need, as Connie said earlier, is turning 10 minutes into a gold mine. We can't stress that enough. It allows everyone in your audience to give at a level that's meaningful to them versus an auction, which only allows the winning bidders to give. A fund-a-need is the single most important element of a virtual fundraiser because it allows everyone watching to give at any level. You don't have to stick to just the 6 levels when you're conducting a virtual paddle raiser because your donors are giving from the comfort of their homes, and with online software can easily jump ahead and give whatever amount they want in that moment. In most cases, your live auction is also structured much differently with a virtual event and can lean to having less of an impact than the traditional in-person version, which puts even more importance on your virtual fund-a-need. If you want to have a fund-a-need success, whether virtual or in person, I can't stress enough how important it is to have a qualified professional fundraising auctioneer conduct your fund-a-need and work with you and your team before the event to set up an effective fund-a-need. Connie?
You know, we found that a 1 hour or maybe an hour and 15-minute program is probably the best length for a virtual fundraising event. And I know, Mike, you'll get into explaining that. But could you kind of talk about the timeline in relationship to the fund-a-need?
Absolutely, Connie. When we begin to dissect what your audience is doing during an in-person event versus a virtual event, the results are much different, as you may imagine. During an in-person event, your audience is right in front of you, sitting at their respective tables, able to make eye contact with whoever is on stage. During a virtual event, your audience is generally at home. Maybe the kids are running around, you have laundry that's ready to be folded, or you're kicking back in your favorite easy chair. Your window of opportunity to gain their attention and get them to give is much smaller than with an in-person event. For this very reason, you must front load your virtual event with fundraising, and in many cases, begin your fund-a-need begin with your fund a need, I'm sorry. In some cases, you may not even be doing a live auction. So the fund a need allows your professional auctioneer to connect with your donors on a deeper level and enable them to give big. What do you think, Connie?
Yes, we have found that in order for a fund a need to be the most successful, you definitely have to have your guests emotionally connected. What have you found, Mike, works best in establishing that connection?
You know, it's critical that right before you begin your virtual fund a need that you emotionally connect your donors to the cause. The best way to do this in a virtual format is by producing an emotional appeal video. Now, this video does not need to be longer than 3 minutes, and it really works best if you stay away from stats and numbers and stick to who the funds will directly benefit. We want to link the funds to people, not numbers and stats. That's what's going to drive the emotional side of it. If you're able to have a past beneficiary be on the live broadcast after the video is shown in order to further connect the giving to the people, then this is the cherry on the top. Immediately after this emotional appeal, you hand it over to your professional auctioneer to conduct the virtual ask.
Okay, we want to thank everyone for viewing this particular video. I know it's very short. We wanted to keep it to 10 minutes, but we do hope that we've been able to share the basic ideas of a successful fund a need. In the very near future, we will be creating additional videos to address marketing, production crews, bidding software, broadcast platforms. In the meantime, we invite you to take a look at some of our web classes that we've already created at elitefundraisingauctions.com/webinars. We have over 15 webinars there that address many elements of the fundraising event. There is one video entitled Virtual Fundraising Events. That was filmed at a presentation sponsored by the Nonprofit Partnership of Long Beach and zeroes in on the different elements of a virtual fundraiser. So thank you very much, Mike. Remember, everyone, if you'd like additional information, you just want to pick our brain or get really specific as to what might work best for you, please give us a call or email us. You can go to our website, elitefundraisingauctions.com, for all of our contact information. Thank you.